Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of On the Road with Dante Carter. My name is Dante Carter, and today we have an exciting guest. He is known for his acting in the show Fallout, playing Reg, who I think should have been Overseer, by the way. Just want to put that out there. This is Rodrigo Luzzi. Luzzi, we just went over it. I messed it up. Luzzi.
It's okay. Luzzi, yeah.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Like alluded to when we started, it's so cold in New York right now that just I was started watching the Winter Olympics earlier, but yeah, it's these are like the brutal days of winter here, so
Yeah, you were saying it's
perfect time to watch a show.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Stay inside, cuddle up, watch a show for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, you were saying it's 5 degrees there.
5 degrees, it says. Although it says it feels like it's zero.
Oh
So
my gosh, that's rough. And I was complaining. Well, before we started, I was complaining to Rod about like, oh yeah, it's 30 degrees here, and he's like, oh yeah, cool, it's fives.
Yeah,
Five.
you know what's wild here is that I mean, it's been cold here for well over a week, like these frigid temperatures, but we got like a lot of snow and this is Manhattan. I live in Manhattan and there's the people who like let their cars just sit there. I don't think they were prepared for what happened, which is basically the snow didn't melt and instead it turned into like blocks of ice. So their
Oh,
car is literally surrounded by a block of ice. And I was reading some random article about some unemployed tech worker who's like just cleaning up by charging people money to dig their car out of the ice. He's got
that's
he's got
genius.
no shortage of business, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a genius idea.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's
He's
probably
like, I'll dig your car out for 119 bucks. He says some take like an hour, some take like 2 to 3 hours, but he's
God,
cornered the market.
yeah, no, that's not bad at all. That's
Yeah.
innovative.
Very innovative. That's a guy we could use in the vault.
Yeah, we need
That
him.
guy's got the kind of skill set we need.
He might can fix that
He's
water.
a problem solver.
Yes. Speaking of the vault, speaking of Fallout, how did that first get started for you? Are you a fan of the game or did you just kind of hear about the show?
So I never really knew about the game. And actually, when I auditioned for it, this is going all the way back to like May of 2022. It wasn't called Fallout when we auditioned. It was like a working title. So it was like a fake title name. And
Oh,
I wasn't really given any context. I had literally one scene to do a self-tape for, and there was no context.
oh,
And so I just, I found it kind of darkly humorous. And so I just kind of leaned into that. And then I found out that I booked it without even a callback, just off that one self-tape. And then they told us this is going to be a show based on the game Fallout. And then I obviously, did a lot of research and realized that this is a massive,
yeah.
massive game franchise with like a huge following, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of us, I mean, I think if I'm being honest, I don't think anyone knew how it was going to turn out. It's rare that you climb into like a blue suit like that and you think, yeah, we're gonna kill this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm interested. Do you remember what was the working title? What did you think it was going to be?
It's funny, it was like an old John Wayne movie,
Yeah.
which makes sense because the Vault Dwellers just had like this media library where they would just watch old Westerns. So I
Yeah.
think they just like plucked the title from one of those.
That's great. I love that. I feel like the aesthetic of the vault and of that time in general, if you know the older time, old timey
Mm.
stuff. I love the aesthetic of it. The whole show is like an ode to I feel like a generation of Hollywood and which is really cool. But do you feel like you've hopped in the game at all after being the show, after watching the show, or
No, when I was researching, I tried to get my hands on the first one, but it was really hard. Like, because I was like, how do I find this game or where? But now I don't have a game console, and like, I was hoping I would have been gifted one for Christmas, but that didn't happen. So I might have to get my own. But yeah, I think I kind of want to like. Here's the thing, I kind of want to play it, but only to enjoy it. Like, there's really like. I don't my character's not based on anyone from the game. He's just like a vault dweller, and so I kind of didn't want to have it color the way I was gonna like perform it by thinking I had to, do something that they do in the game or something. So,
Oh yeah, no, that makes
um,
sense.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm in a test tube, you know.
Yeah.
So when you're a test subject, literally, you don't know you're part of the experiment. So,
Is there anything that you bring to the character on your own that is kind of like an ode to yourself or something for your family and friends, just like little like Easter egg or a wink to them?
I mean, I was telling someone this the other day that I tried to find something in the character that I could relate to, and that like he really reminded me a lot of like I was like, this is like a child almost. Like he's got this intense need to be like, needed to like he's, validated. He needs to feel useful. And it just reminded me of like kind of chasing that feeling as like a kid, where you just wanted to just please everyone around you and just,
Yeah.
feel like you were a useful contributor, whatever was going on.
For sure, yeah. That scene of Reg playing the piano and he's wanting everyone to like perk up and he daydreams about
Yeah, that was great. The best part was that when we filmed that, because when you watch it, they change the aspect ratio, and then you kind of realize, oh, this is like all in his head.
yeah.
And but when we filmed it, it was so alive and all, with all the people in the room, the camera spinning on the ceiling. I just liked how they did that, like where they adjusted the aspect ratio so that you kind of get like a visual kind of representation that, oh, this is all going on in his head.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah.
when it cuts back, everyone's just kind of looking bored and just snacking.
Um
Poor guy, so sad.
I know it's weird because it's one of those things. There's this thing in comedy where you have a tragic character who it's not supposed to be funny, but it is funny, and it's like his need to be, for that approval rating, his need to be loved, and his constant desire to feel important is things that we all feel, and it's like really serious issues. But it's like the way that you portray it, you bring that dark comedy to it. I think you play the character really well. Um,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, for sure, man. You have been one of, if not the most underrated highlight of that show, in my opinion. Someone who, when things are dark and kind of gloomy, because it could be a pretty jacked up show, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cuts back to Reg, and you just kind of like you smirk, you smile. You're like, okay, Reg is here.
Right, right. I always felt I kind of felt that I was like, oh, we're like comic relief. But like I said, there is something like at the end of the day, it just goes to show you like, they designed these vaults to like breed these sort of middle management level people that were just going to be compliant. But at the end of the day, he's still human.
Yeah,
And you start telling people that they can't do this or that, and you just there's like a natural feeling to resist that
yeah,
or to rebel against it. So,
yeah, definitely.
um, yeah, he's definitely not the brightest bulb on the tree, though. I'll give you that.
He's funny, man. When overseer comes in sorry, my dog's jumping up here, and she's talking about the snack budget, talking about the water shortage, and she brings up the Weevil famine, and,
Hmm.
and you say, and honestly, I'm like, I've been kind of thinking this because you keep hearing about the Weevil famine, as an audience member, but there's no other reference to it. It's just everyone knows it was bad, but no one knows what it was. So, and finally, Reg goes, I'm sick of hearing about the Weevil famine.
Right, right. Yeah, like Chet mentioned it. Like, he's like, I can't really name the baby Chet Jr. That was my dad's name. It's like a soft spot for him because of the Weeble famine.
Yes. And it's like throughout the whole show, there's been multiple times where you hear about this Weevil famine, and you're like, what, I mean, you know what a Weevil famine is, but it's like, what, can we get like some context here? And then finally Reg just goes, we're sick of hearing about it. And then everyone in the vault is like, yes, yeah, we are.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like everyone in the products of inbreeding support group, like, kind of like saw it as their moment to be. And even like the one, her name is Sheila. She plays Marianne. She's
Yeah.
like, I am so glad that it feels so good to hear someone say that,
Yes, yes.
So.
Oh man, I love that the support group too, the inbreeding support group, and you've got the two redheads who are just all over each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Reg is kind of like oblivious to it at first, and then he's kind of like looking at him, He's like, oh man, is do all of the vault dwellers, are y'all, as far as the actors go, are y'all pretty close group, or do y'all, I mean, how do y'all keep in
You know
contact?
what? In season one, it was yeah. So basically, we shot season one in New York. So a lot of us were either from here or, some of the actors that were flown out here, like because we were all filming like in the same location and we all kind of lived closer. It was a lot easier to like see people
Yeah.
than when we flipped for season two and we shot everything in LA because then we were like kind of like separated. Like the vault stuff is its own thing. And then they like, I only encountered like the Wastelanders like not on act like on one day when I had to go to the set where they were filming the Wasteland stuff, but not because I was filming there.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like more spread apart. So, but season one was also like, season one we were shooting like, coming out of COVID.
Oh yeah.
So we were really like, they kept us together and like, sometimes we had to be in trailers that were the physical trailers were outside. And so like, you weren't really wandering around too much because everyone was trying to keep their distance. So
Yeah.
you'd kind of just, like I became really, it's kind of funny because we don't have any scenes together, but in season one, I became really good friends with Cameron Cowperwaith, who plays Monty. He's the raider
Oh,
that Lucy's supposed to marry, and he turns out to be a real evil psycho.
yeah, yeah.
Because we were like in adjacent trailers,
Oh yeah.
so we just became, we hit it off pretty well. So yeah, the dynamic off camera is interesting because a lot of times it makes me think now about shows too, where I'm like, I wonder if like all those people were friends. But then it makes me think of like Game of Thrones, which I was a big fan of, and I mean they were shooting in different parts of the world, some of
Yeah.
them. So
I know, yeah, like
some of them didn't even get to see or meet each other until they were like at a premiere or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Well, kind of like too, like anime. If you watch like animated movies, a lot of times like they do their voice acting different, separate. So it's
Yeah,
kind of the same thing. Or like the Avengers is a big world. So it's like
yeah.
you have these big team up movies where finally these characters meet. But it's like in reality, the actors probably aren't super familiar with each other. Um,
Yeah. But I mean, I had a great time I mean, everyone was such a joy to be around. That includes like cast, crew, like all the crew members were amazing. Just everyone, hair, makeup, everyone was just amazing to be around.
Which is good because as someone who's a fan of the show, and when you watch a show, any show that you like that you binge watch, you're like I really hope that they all get along, and it's sad
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
when
yeah.
you watch these shows and like you find out like, oh, these two are best friends in the show, but they hate each other in real life. So
Yeah, yeah. That's wild when you find stuff out like that, right?
yeah, I hate it. It
Like they
drives
really
me
sold
crazy.
that on screen, but in real life they couldn't be in the same room together.
And
It's kind of wild.
I wonder if they don't just lie. They're just trying to make themselves look like better actors, and they're like, "Oh man, I hated that guy."
Right, right. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. That's an interesting yeah, that I'd like to take a deeper dive on that with some of those. Like I
Yeah,
said, those people that just appear like they're best buds on TV and then you find out that they can't stand each other. It's kind of wild.
especially shows like
No, but like honestly, like everyone was just such a I just enjoyed. I didn't care how long I was on set, like I could have been there 15, 16 hours and it didn't matter.
yeah,
I enjoyed every second of it. So,
which is good, and I feel like that makes the project better overall if people are pouring into it like that. Um,
yeah.
and you're like you said, your costume is just that blue jumpsuit. It's not like you're in makeup for long hours or anything like that. Like you just
No, and that believe it or not, like putting on that suit like completely it's like it helps me with the character, changes like my posture, changes the way I feel, and that goes back to like the first time I put it on where I was like, man, I don't look cool in this thing at all. I was like, I guess just lean into that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you found yourself, if you have any friends of the show, and have you found yourself doing like the thumbs up in the
Yeah,
suit?
I do randomly find myself, and it's not like intentional, but and the only way I know that is because like, the holidays just kind of wrapped up, and I look back at photos that we took for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I'm like, I don't remember doing this in previous like family photos.
Um, how was your family adjusted to seeing you on such a big show? Do they treat you differently or?
No, not at all. I mean, I mean, it's so funny. Like to them, my parents were funny. Like I've been doing this for a long time, but they never understood the difference between an audition and when you actually do the job. Like to them, it was all the same thing. So yeah, no, they just treat me like just as normal as they did before. So nothing's really changed. And I also don't really ever get like recognized, you know? I mean, that's a special kind of a look that
Yeah,
Reg has, you know? Like
yeah.
I don't walk around in my day-to-day life looking like that, so
Yeah, you're kind of
um
like
yeah.
that's funny, man. David Spade tells a story of his mom and like anytime he says something to her, like she'll have family coming over and she'll buy deviled eggs from like Publix or Costco and she'll leave it in the tray and he'll be like, "Mom, maybe you should take it out of the tray and just put it on a plate." And then she'll be like, "Oh, sure I will, Hollywood." Like so
Right, right, right,
things
right.
like that, how family always keeps you humble.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
That's funny though. Okay, Hollywood.
Who are some of your biggest influences growing up as far as acting or even like other filmmakers?
I mean, I was always such a huge fan of like Al Pacino, Gary Oldman, Robert De Niro, just those like legends. And then I get to act across from a legend in Leslie Uggams. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's something I definitely didn't take for granted because I had most of my scenes in season two were with her.
yeah,
So it was really, that was a real treat.
yeah, and she
Um,
is she is a fantastic actress.
yeah. And then, I was a big fan of like, Wes Anderson movies when when he first, began making films. Yeah, there's just so many. There's so many new filmmakers too.
Yeah, yeah, and that we're going to a place too with like shows like Stranger Things and like Fallout where these shows are starting to get some of the same fan bases as like movies like Star Wars was, where it's like they're getting the same kind of lore of like they're becoming their own entity, their own franchise. And I think streaming has helped that out a lot. Uh,
Hmm.
People enjoy that. And so it's like movies like Star Wars, like I said, and these great franchises where they live on almost forever, pretty much. I feel like a show like Fallout, like Stranger Things, these new shows are turning into that, where they're the new hot project.
Yeah, and it's cool when you speak of it that way. It's cool to think that, I'm part of this show that I mean, people will be able to watch this thing for eternity,
Yeah,
like
yeah. It is.
because all those shows like Star, I mean, listen, if I'm randomly watching TV and like, The Empire Strikes Back is on, I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Definitely, man. And yeah, like it's going into season three, which has been confirmed. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming with your character, you're kind of gaining popularity in the show, like a bigger role. Do you think that in season three, you'll have an even bigger role, or do you think you're going to maybe get out of that vault, maybe get to the real world?
You know what? That's above my pay grade, but it makes like I wonder like, because the way they left it was, I really stuck it to Betty by like, grabbing that Jello mold and rubbing
Yeah,
it all in my face, which, I mean, if you think about it, yeah, the Jello is made from water, so I'm wasting the water.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she didn't look too happy with what I just did, so, you know.
No,
Like I said, I wasn't physically killed off, but I'm always thinking, I said this to the gentleman who plays Davy Lear.
Yeah.
With the mustache. He looks great, man. He's so great. He was joking that the other day he was wearing these glasses. He goes, I think people think when I take my glasses off, my nose and mustache are going to come with it. It looks like one of those old, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was telling him because after season one, he's like, oh, yes, we made it to season two. I was like, Pump your brakes, man." I was like, they could easily just open up season two with two guys painting over a blood splattered wall and one guy saying, "Did you hear Reg try to leave the vault? What an idiot." And then just move on, like
Yeah.
it's so like
That
in
is
that way I feel like that's like referencing Game of Thrones again. Like they would just kill people off like
yeah.
left and right on that show. So
That is
hopefully
such
I'm
a
not giving the showrunners any ideas here,
yeah, yeah. If they watch this, they're like, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that's such a fallout way to do something like that. It feels like too, like just a quick. Uh,
Right, right, right.
and the vault dwellers have gotten so used to like death, especially after the raiders come in, that they're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They had to get rid of Reg. Sorry. Or with Steph's new mean streak. Um, Speaking of Davey, his scene when he's getting ready to vote for Betty.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh my
That was
God.
so good. He just couldn't let it go. He had to like he was like honest almost to a fault.
Yes. Um, what was the point in your career?
I also love just to sorry not to cut you off, but just referencing Davy's character again. I love how later on there's a scene where he's like Woody's looking at one of his posters and he's like, "You ran a good campaign." And as he's walking off, he's like, "I voted for Betty."
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, the Vault Dwellers, I think, have delivered outside of, Walton Goggins and the Ghoul. Like he's got his one-liners, but I feel like the Vault Dwellers have delivered the best, just really quick, funny, and move on like one-liners of the show. And that's why I think I love the comfort when you get back into a vault. There is that comfort, like in how the show kind of describes it. Like you just feel like you can relax a little bit, but also like something weird's going on.
yeah, but it is a nice like reprieve from you cut from the violence of the wasteland to the vault. Everyone can like breathe a little for a second, but at the end of the day, like it's starting to look like things are gonna not go so well in the vault.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have to make a choice. It's like if the water chip is damaged, Steph and Betty aren't getting along, you're gonna have to, Betty and myself, we're gonna have to go to the mainland. We gotta go up. We gotta get water, you know what I mean? Or whatever Vault's plan was, which we don't know yet. Whatever their plan, whatever the experiment was, um, we're gonna have to abandon it or stick with it.
Yeah, well, do you remember in season one where like we were reprimanding Norm and she's like, I have a little project, I have a little job for you, and it's basically he's feeding the Raiders.
Yeah.
I had it in my head that I'm like, well, here I am pissing Betty off.
Yeah.
And, first when I was like, kind of whining about how I'm not moving up in the world, and she's like, just go start a club. Like she's trying to give me something to do to get out of her hair.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, what better way to get rid of Reg and get him out of your hair than to send him to the surface for a water chip?
Oh yes. Yeah. That's perfect. I mean, that makes sense. And if y'all have, because I believe the vaults are like right by the ocean. I feel like when they come out,
Yeah, when she came up out of it, yeah, she was standing by the ocean. Yeah.
so it's almost like if y'all have a water purifier, it just your job, Reg's job is, or you have to go get buckets of water, and you come back and forth just bringing buckets of water, um, which is I feel like just a terrible job. Like
Or yeah, exactly. Or I mean, because they've been purifying like their own urine. I'm assuming to
yeah,
drink, but Reg is so dim-witted that he'd probably think it'd be a smart idea to just run a water pipe from the ocean into the vault and just drink the salt water.
yeah.
And
He's like, oh, I fixed it, guys.
all of a sudden, everyone's like a shriveled raisin, just totally dehydrated. It
And he's
would
still
be a
giving
very
them,
vault thing to happen.
and he's still giving them the salty snacks too, so it's like doubling down on it.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, because when you eat like a salty snack, like you just want to like drink more water.
Yeah.
Like so.
Has there been any scene that you've have filmed so far that you absolutely loved or whatever, and then they were like, "Hey, we don't think this is going to make it into the final cut." Has there been a scene like that, or has everything you've done pretty much made it?
Uh No, there was no, everything that I've filmed has pretty much been in it, but like the length of the scene has been like cut down.
Yeah,
Like um and there was like there was a scene that I had with Zach Cherry in the first season where we're just looking at a raider through the glass, and I'm asking him if he's gotten any answers out of him, and he's like, no. There was like a funny line in there that it didn't make it in there, but like they cut around it real quickly that I don't even know how they did it. I was like, oh, that's interesting how they cut that line out. But I think it was like a joke that he made about the guy showing him his butthole or something. It was like, and they were like, man, we could probably get rid of
yeah, yeah. I had one time. I did a small independent film that I had like a small part in, and I was so excited. I played a biker and I dressed up and I was on set for maybe 6 hours. And I told my family this movie came out. It was on Amazon Prime, and um, I told my family like I rented it and everything. Because the guy's like, come over. We're gonna watch this movie. I'm in it. I was excited. And the movie comes and we're watching it through, and I know like about where the story was going. So like, I should be coming up here. And I was kind of like a henchman, and I had this guy was holding him hostage. And they literally had from my shoulder to mid forearm, all over to my chest and my chin up down. So no face, just my arm basically. And I was like, yeah. It's like that's cool.
that. I've been cut out of commercials before,
Oh,
like
really?
where I would film, yeah, where I filmed. I remember one time, this is like years ago, I filmed a commercial for a car company, and the little vignette that I was in was me and this guy were like two valets that were like basically taking a joyride in a car. And I think in hindsight, they were like, probably not a good message to send out there to all the valet drivers that you can take a joyride. And so they like clipped it from the commercial.
Oh man. Oh
But yeah, no, fortunately for me, like I said, most of my scenes were still in there. They just, obviously as they're editing, they probably trim stuff to keep the story moving forward, and they realize that they don't need that here.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
I mean that makes sense. I feel like
yeah, because they shoot so much stuff.
that's what I was gonna say is that if you put everything in there, you're having like hours long episodes, and it's like people
Yeah.
fans are weird. Fans who are especially super fans who love a show, they love it so much that it's like they love it so much they end up hating it. Or like it's like, oh, what are they doing? They should have done this. They should have did this. And it's like you're just a fan of the show. Like, where do you get this from? Um,
Yeah. I
with
feel like they're doing a good job of I think they're doing a great job of keeping the people who are fans of the game happy, but also like, opening up this whole world to people who didn't play the games.
yeah,
They made it very approachable,
I agree.
for people that you didn't have to be like a fan of the game to just get into the show. So
Yeah, definitely.
kudos to them.
For sure, because I've never played the game. I've heard of it. And I have some friends that play it, so I was excited because I've watched like gameplay and stuff here and there. But I was excited about the show just because I like the idea of it. And I'm terrible at video games. My friends will vouch for that. Like I'm just no good. So I get too mad that I can't even enjoy the storyline of the game. So I'm like,
Right, right, right.
so this works perfect for me. Oh,
Right, right.
but
Yeah, I mean, you think about the hours that people put into to playing these games, and when I hear like the total hours that some people put into it, I'm like, I mean, I don't know if I have that much time.
yeah. Yeah, you're like, there's 24 hours in a day, and you spent 20 of them playing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. And like I said, those super fans. Do you ever get? Do you know how like in are you a fan of Marvel of the Marvel films or not really?
I mean, yeah, I'm not like waiting for the next one to come out. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a movie that comes out like to me, it feels like there's one that comes out every 3 months, but it's not that often. But
Yeah, it does feel like that, or a show. Yeah. Are you familiar with how Chris Pratt's character Star-Lord, they're almost about to beat Thanos in Infinity War, and he
oh
goes
yeah,
crazy and starts shooting them and ruins it. And so Chris Pratt, the actor, says, I have people all the time who tell me like, why didn't you do this, or why haven't you done this? Why did you do that? Who are mad at him for what have you had any of that yet? Like people say like, dude, you should do this.
no, but and like I said, hope thankfully it's because like I said, I don't really get recognized too much, but which I'm thankful for because some yeah, I read some comments where people are like one that was really funny that was like this character makes me want to reach through the screen, just fucking punch him. Yeah, people like sometimes people can't separate the actor from the character they're playing.
Yeah.
So, like somebody even referenced me in some Reddit forum where they said that I was like King Joffrey from Game of Thrones, who was like really, really hated, but he did a fantastic job as an actor with that character.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to really to make people hate you so much that because they hate the character.
Yeah, that is really good acting, and I'm a professional wrestling fan, and there are a lot of professional wrestlers where it's the same way. Like if to play that bad guy, that villain, like it's hard, especially if you're a nice guy like you, like just meeting you here, like you seem like a really nice guy. So to make people hate you as a character is it's a lot of talent, you know.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, no. I appreciate, reading comments like that, but like I said, hopefully I don't have to fear for my own safety.
I interviewed a guy one time who played Michael Myers, and
Mm,
he was telling me, he said, yeah, like I've had people come up to me and be like, dude, I'm scared just talking to you. And he's like, I'm a human, like I'm just like you, like I just played a role, you know?
right, yeah. But it was so convincing that, like I said, they can't separate the real person from the character that they portray or whatever.
Yes, especially someone like that, like who Michael Myers is a big, you have to be a big figure to
Yeah, imposing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, what is something I feel like how do I word? What is something else that you wish people would that is yours, like some of your other work that you wish other people would kind of check this out if they are a fan of yours from Fallout?
Well, there's a project that I'm trying to get the director to just have it live on YouTube. During the pandemic, this commercial director that I had worked with several times, he hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you have any ideas we should do something since everyone's like not able to do anything?"
Yeah.
And we came up with this story that was basically it was partly based on my real life experience of my father getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's,
Mm.
but we turned it into like a comedy because my dad had had some pretty funny like anecdotes of things that he said or did, situations he found himself in that, you know, obviously they weren't funny, but in hindsight, you could have a laugh about it because you're like, oh, that's kind of funny, that he said that. And
Yeah.
so we turned it into a story about, me basically moving back in with my parents to help take care of my dad because he just got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but it was more of a comedy. And we were really trying to like get it made. We made like little, like 9 little webisodes basically.
Yeah.
And we hadn't had any luck with anyone, trying to like pick it up and give us the money to make it into a full-blown series or anything. But now that it's been like a couple of years, I would love for that to just live on like YouTube so people could watch that. Because for
Yeah.
me, it was super personal. Because like I said, it was very cathartic for me to do that. Because like I said, it was entirely based. It was based on my dad. Obviously, there's a lot of fictional elements,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
but yeah, that's something that I really wish that I could get people to see,
Yeah.
and to watch. So hopefully that happens soon because like I said, it's been long enough that we should just have it live on, YouTube or Vimeo or one of those, platforms.
Yeah, for sure. Because that sounds like
Um,
a really cool project, like a really good project that you bring. Because as a comedian, I feel like it's important to you want to bring. light to situations like that where it's
Yeah,
like this sucks, but we can make the most of it. We can have some fun
right.
and just kind of get through it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
mean there's so many funny things like just to give you an example, like, like I said, my dad when he was starting to have problems like, understanding what people were saying, like we were at an Italian, this is one example of something he said that in hindsight, I was like, that was actually kind of funny. We were at some Italian restaurant and like, he ordered like some like pasta dish that had like, seafood, like I forget the name of the dish or whatever, but I remember he asked the waiter, he's like, is there any like cheese or dairy in that? And the waiter goes, no, I can check with the kitchen though. He's like, are you a pescatarian? And my dad goes, I'm Roman Catholic. And I think because he thought Episcopalian,
yeah,
pescatarian. So like in his head in that moment.
it does. It does sound like yeah.
Right. So like in the moment we didn't laugh because we were like, oh no, you can't. But in hindsight, I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's like, pescatarian, I'm Roman Catholic.
If I feel like if you wanted to, like you saying, like in a fictional version, if you wanted to play that up, just have them for no reason get overtly mad. Just be like, "I'm Roman Catholic, you bitch!" Like just like she's like, "Oh,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
is that project anywhere online right now to watch, or is it just kind of
I think the director has it on his website, but it might be like password protected. This is what my point though is I want to get him to just put it
released?
up on YouTube because it's been enough time has passed now. I mean, I believe we shot that in 2021.
Mhm.
So it's been like, 5 years.
And
So,
it could be something too that I'm a huge horror movie nerd, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There was one that came out in the '90s, and it didn't do well at first, and it had Matthew McConaughey in it. Well, then Matthew McConaughey has a couple projects that come out that make him Matthew McConaughey's a huge star now.
ah,
So they re-released it, and it got
right, right. Yeah.
second life. Yeah. So uh,
Yeah, no, no, it's true, and that's maybe that something like that can happen.
yeah.
Um,
Tell him I got
yeah,
five.
but like I said, I really would love for people to see that
Yeah.
because we had a lot of fun filming it, even though, like I said, it was, we were literally filming during the pandemic, and we had a lot of like older actors in it, so it was very, most of our budget went to like COVID testing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because we're like, okay, we can't kill anyone while we make this thing, so.
Right. Right. Oh man, but the I'm intrigued. I would love to watch that project. So yeah, definitely if you
Yeah, yeah. It's called La Locura. It's
Mhm.
actually on my IMDb, but it's listed as being in like pre-production or something. But that's because I think the director's the one who can change that. But La Locura means like this the madness basically in Spanish. So
Nice. I like that. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, like and I'll have to let you know if we do that because I'm gonna reach out to our director and say, hey, can we just have this thing like just out there for people to enjoy? 'Cause I'll
Yeah.
tell him I've been getting asked a lot about it.
Yeah, no, please do. And yeah, and if he does it, if you don't mind, if you remember, yeah, please let me know. I'd love to watch it and even kind of help promote it. I would,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, because that's just like you said, like sometimes like you especially like there's like cult movies that like they get released, not a lot of like fanfare, and then all of a sudden they become like these like hidden gems that
yeah.
like that now that's the word spreads like wildfire, or everyone's talking about it like years after it came out.
Yeah. Or even things like The Office, where The Office didn't really get popular until like 5 or 6 years into its run, and then it became huge. Like it became this big thing. So yeah, I think there's definitely potential there. And that's such a niche. Like we need new, different shows, and that's a different show, and it's a subject that so many people are familiar with. Like it's perfect,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Speaking of The Office, I was like so close. I didn't get it, but I was pretty close to booking a role on the paper,
yeah, yeah,
which is like the kind of like the follow-up kind of thing to The Office. So that would be a fun show to be on in
yeah.
this whatever capacity they want to have me on there.
Which is funny. That's what my next question was going to be. What's a franchise or something you like to be a part of? And that's a charming show. The Paper is a really charming show.
Yeah, something like that would be really fun.
Yeah. Uh,
But yeah, no, I'm continuing to audition, so hopefully, hopefully now, people will have seen Fallout, and maybe that opens a few more doors for me.
yeah, for sure. I mean, because I think you do a fantastic job, and I'm not just saying that because you're on the show, but
Thank you.
I think you do a fantastic job, and I would love to see you in more things and for people. So if you listen, my opinion might not mean much to him, but you tell him Dante Carter from South Carolina, he wants to see me in something.
There we go. You'll be part of my pitch deck.
There you go. Oh man.
I'll tell my managers.
If you don't mind, I got a couple of quick questions, and I'll let you.
Sure.
You've been
Yeah.
very gracious with your time. I appreciate that, man.
Well,
Um,
yeah, man. Listen, what else would I be? It's so cold that I'm not going anywhere. So I was
yeah,
like, this is the perfect thing to do on a Sunday.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like the Super Bowl is later, but what was I gonna do now? Like
yeah.
watch curling on the Olympics. No offense to curling, but
Yeah. It's so funny too. Like, you have to say that really cool. Like, no offense to curling.
right.
That's one
Well,
thing.
because somebody out there gonna be watching this. What did you just say?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
just he's talking shit about curling.
You're gonna be scrolling through Twitter letters like Reg from Fallout hates curling.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly.
Oh man. Oh.
Reg goes on a hateful diatribe about curling. News at 11.
Yeah, you're like, man, it's got to be a slow news day, man. Curling.
Exactly. It's got to be a real slow news cycle.
Um, what what's your favorite movie of all time? If you can put that like first thing that pops in your head there.
My favorite movie of all. You know what? If mm, just gut impulse is like True Romance,
Oh yeah,
the movie that Quentin Tarantino wrote it, but Tony Scott directed it. Just that movie is just amazing. Gary Oldman is incredible in it. Christopher Walken. I mean, there's just so many colorful characters.
yeah.
That's literally one of my all-time favorites.
I don't think I've seen it as a kid. I remember my grandparents used to love it, and they'd be on at my pawpaw's house, and then I'd sit and would watch it with him. But when you're a kid, you don't catch everything. You don't catch a lot of. So I need to
Mm.
go back and watch that because
There's
the
so many. I mean, that's like Brad Pitt has this. He plays Floyd, like who's basically Michael Rappaport's roommate, and he's just a stoner. But there's so many great stories involved in that movie. Like apparently, like Brad Pitt, like right before they started shooting, he told the director Tony Scott that he wanted to make the character a stoner, and he goes, "Why?" He goes, "Well, he in every scene in the movie, he's just on the couch." And so they were like, all right, let's do it. And so
yeah,
that was like Brad Pitt's suggestion was to make him this like pot smoking stoner. And so
genius.
and because of that we now have Floyd.
Yeah, yeah. I need to rewatch
So
it.
yeah, it's definitely you should rewatch it because there's so many great characters in that movie.
Yeah, and I probably didn't even catch half of what was really going on then. Yeah, I definitely that's a good rewatch.
Yeah, it's so good. And like I said, Gary Oldman's just incredible in it. I mean, everyone, Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Christopher Walken, Dennis Hopper. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really got like Samuel L. Jackson's in it, like
Oh
for
yeah.
a hot minute. Like,
It's a
there's
huge
so
one.
many people in that movie.
Yes. That's one of those where it's like you're watching it and it's like every time a new person pops up, you're like, oh yeah. And then like halfway through you're like, this is really fun. Like this is just fun to see. What is one role or one character that maybe changed your outlook on movies or really brought you into acting or wanting to kind of pursue this?
I mean, just to piggyback on someone I mentioned in True Romance was just watching Gary Oldman transform from, like playing Sid Vicious in Sid and Nancy to then playing Beethoven in Immortal Beloved. Like when I was watching his movies and how he transformed, that's something that really stuck out. And I was like, how does this guy do this? This is incredible, you know?
Yeah.
He just like literally became all these different characters. And then the first time I heard him speak in his real voice with like an accent, I was like, that's what he sounds like? Because I had no clue.
Yeah. It's like that so many times with actor and Ella.
Yeah.
She's one. And when you hear her do interviews, like Lucy, like what is that?
Yeah.
Um,
Even like her English accent, her American accent, I should say, is so good that like when she was working on Yellow Jackets, I don't think her co-stars couldn't believe that she was British. They thought like she was putting on a British accent. Like
yeah,
she's like, no, no, I'm British. Like,
this is who I am.
yeah.
Because there's this weird thing now that American women like to do random British accents just out of nowhere. Uh, what is your go-to comfort food after a long day of shooting? You get home. What are you diving into?
You know what I just discovered was there's a company called Crispy Green that makes these freeze-dried fruits, and the one that I can't stop eating, there's just freeze-dried mangoes,
Oh yeah,
but it's like the texture. They're just that's all it is. There's no
yeah,
added sugar, and like it's got such a nice crunch, so you can just eat them by themselves, or you can like crush them up and put them on top of yogurt or something. They're so ridiculously good. They had them at like craft services on this commercial that I worked on like a month ago.
yeah.
And I didn't like I was like looking at the bag and I was like and I was about to put it down and somebody behind me like was like, you should have one of those. I was like, really? And they're like, they're so good. So
Dude, I think you just pitched a commercial for that company.
right.
Like,
Right,
over your
right.
shoulder, like you really need
Yeah,
these.
exactly. Crispy Green. Crispy Green is the company. And like they have freeze dried strawberries, but the freeze dried mangoes are just amazing. Highly recommend.
We'll give them a shout out.
Yeah, yeah. This
If you,
video is brought to you by Krispy Kreme.
yeah, yeah. The podcast never started. This is all just an ad, and then
Right,
now the podcast is stuff.
right.
If you wasn't acting, if you weren't acting, what would you be doing right now? Do you know, or what did you want to do backup
You
plan?
know what? So I got a degree in kinesiology, which is exercise science. Originally, I wanted to be like a trainer for like a professional ice hockey team, but that ship sailed when I would wind up in physical therapy a lot, and it was sort of anxiety inducing. But honestly, I've always loved. I have like a real big hobby in like photography.
Hmm.
Anything with like camera, like so I would love to be like a photographer,
Yeah.
traveling the world.
I was gonna say, yeah, being in New York, I feel like you're in a good spot because there's so many like so much beautiful scenery there, and you're in a good spot for photography.
Yeah.
Do you have any interest in starting like some people have like a secondary Instagram and it's like this is just photography.
Yeah. So I thought about doing that where I just because I take a ton of photos
Yeah,
and I don't post them. Like I have a ton of photos, but I'm waiting to like, be able to like put out a bunch all at once or whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, I have thought about that, like just like like a separate, not like a burner account, but
yeah,
like 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 a site that's just dedicated to my photos. I should do that because I do have a lot of photos
yeah.
from that they're all locked away in my hard drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you would be surprised, like I have a buddy of mine who does photography, and he's got a photography page, and people love it, man. They go through, and he's got a couple thousand followers on it, and not that it's about that; it's just about getting your workout. But people really seem to enjoy that kind of thing, and I think you could do a cool thing if Reg ever does make it to the wasteland, you could even like if you have a chance to sneak a camera in there, like
Yeah,
photograph set.
yeah, it's so funny because I see my fellow cast members like now that the season's wrapped, they're putting out like photos from when they were on set or whatever. And I'm like, damn it. I was like, I didn't because I didn't bring my phone to set. Sometimes I would leave it in my trailer.
Yeah.
That my blue suit doesn't have pockets. So so I was like, wow, I didn't get any photos really. Like I don't really have many photos of being on set. So next time I gotta figure that out
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I need to have some memories from the entire process.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
At first I didn't want to do it because I was like, I'm like new on this set. I don't want to blow this. I don't want to be caught taking a photo. And they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
So maybe now heading into season three, I'll feel a little more confident being like, hey, I'm going to take a photo.
Is there anything that you would like to keep from set or have kept from set, maybe?
I mean, I haven't kept anything from set. but I would love to have one of those suits. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah. That would
what's
be.
funny is this. I was literally wondering, had I been able to keep like a vault suit, for example, I was like, I wonder if I dressed up as Reg from Fallout and went out on Halloween, would anybody know it was me, or would they
Yeah,
just think I was dressed as, a vault dweller?
yeah. Or people are calling you Chet. You're like, no, like,
Yeah.
that would be great. That would be really cool. If they do, if you go into work one day and they're like, hey, we like you, but we think we're gonna kill your character off. Then like, fuck it, I'm still in this. This is coming home
Yeah,
to me.
yeah. Right, right, right.
Uh, um, last question, and I'll
The
let you.
vault suit is baked into my charter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can't take the vault suit.
Oh, last question, and I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. I know you're of Chilean descent. You're from Chile. Your family's.
Yeah,
How?
so my dad's family, my great grandfather actually went from Italy. I think a lot of Europeans fled to South America like during World War II.
Yeah,
And then yeah, my parents moved to. They have a crazy story, which we touch upon in La Locura,
nice.
the thing. But they basically came to New York City uh, on a honeymoon,
Oh, wow.
and then Pinochet had his revolutionary coup in Chile,
Yeah,
and their family was like, "You guys should probably hang tight, don't come back. It's not good here." And so they were like, okay. And so my dad was like, I guess I'll get a job. You hang out here and I'll just go get a job.
yeah,
And then, my sister was born and then they had plans on going back, but their family was like, you guys shouldn't come back. The situation here is really bad.
yeah.
And so then they did everything they had to do to, get their green card and then they just started a life here.
Nice. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what America's about. Is it's what we're called the melting pot. To get away from bad situations and make a better situation for yourself and for a family. What I was
Yeah,
gonna.
my dad worked like, I mean, he had because my mom was busy raising me and my sister. So my dad worked, I mean, he did so many jobs. He worked as like a doorman. He worked as like a yellow taxi driver. He worked delivering food.
Oh
He
wow.
worked at a gas station. I mean, he just like, that's my one memory of my dad is that he was always working.
Yeah.
He never, ever, ever, wanted to like get, public assistance or anything. He was like, no, no, no. He's like, I'll work till the day I die.
Yeah. Which is
So,
so admirable. I feel like kind of the same thing with my dad's always been the same way, multiple jobs and just
yeah.
busting his ass, doing whatever he can to provide. And we always joke with my family because my dad's done good for himself now, and so the kids we struggled when we were younger. Now we've gotten older. We're a little bit spoiled, and he's like, you guys, man.
You know what? You're right. Because if my dad was alive now, because he passed away a few years ago, but you hear people now where they're like, they're like, I can't believe it. I have to work two jobs just to afford my place. My dad would be like, hold my beer,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
two jobs, just two.
That's it. What are you doing with all
Yeah.
that extra time?
You know what's great about him though too is that like every day, no matter what, even if it was a day that he was taking off from work, he was up 7 in the morning with like a shirt and tie.
Oh,
Like
nice.
always looked like he had to go somewhere, even though he was, and I think he said he did it because it made him feel good.
Nice. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was a super classy. That's like a throwback, like,
Yeah.
I see photos of him from like the 50s and like back then, 17, 16-year-olds were like wearing suits and ties and stuff. And I was like, this is a whole different era. Kind of
Yeah.
like, like when they flash back to like, Walton in Fallout and they're all dressed up real nice.
Yes. Super nice. Super. I love the
Yeah. And
it
they
was
were like young people that dressed in suits looking, their best bib and tucker, like,
yeah, yeah, real dapper.
yeah.
Um that would be a cool Easter if you were given the opportunity, that'd be a cool Easter egg to your dad is maybe if Reg does ever come up from the vault, takes the suit off and he's just got a nice suit and tie on and he's just had it on this whole time. And everybody's like, why is he dressed incredibly nice, you know?
Right, right, right. You know
Uh
what I always thought too, like in the vault, I always wondered because they never show it, but I always wondered if like Reg opens his closet, if there's just like 14 like blue vault suits, or if it's just the one.
I
You
know.
know, like they put it, he takes it off and he puts it in like a sanitizer and they flip a switch and then all of a sudden it's just clean.
It pops back out. Ding.
Right, 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 like a microwave.
Yes, because you never see them like you've never seen a vault dweller like at night or like winding down. They're always just
Have we seen the vault barber yet?
no, yeah,
No.
no,
But that guy's
exactly.
got he's got a lot of clients. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody's trimming Davy's like mustache, you know.
Oh yeah. They got to keep it kempt and perfect. Yeah.
It'd be funny if they had a vault barber shop.
That would be fun. They should just a throwaway, just you're panning by and you just see it, Vault Barber Shop or something like that. And you've only got
Yeah.
like five options for haircuts. This is
Yeah. Number one on the menu, it just says the usual.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are we doing today? Let's just go with the usual.
And even
High and tight.
yeah, a scene where they're like Reg would be perfect for this, where Reg is like, I kind of want to try something different. And then this
Yeah.
the whole episode, it just keeps cutting back to him, like thinking of different ones. And then in the end of the episode, he's just like, you know what? That's too much. I'm just gonna keep it like it is. It's like he spent a whole day at the barbershop just trying to decide.
Yeah, or you know, or if you, God forbid, you ask for a different haircut, that everyone looks at you like kind of like, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like,
Oh,
what are you talking about? Like, did you ever see the Truman Show?
yes, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
when he behaves out of character and like they don't know what to do.
yeah.
It'd be like that. If someone's like, "Hey, Reg, we're gonna do the same thing." No, actually, I'm gonna keep the back long, and everyone's like, what do we do?"
You just say hey to someone and like they have the glass of water and they drop it and bust and they're like,
Yeah, yeah,
the camera pans to you and everyone's expecting like something crazy and it's just a different haircut. Like,
yeah,
I like that. I think we just wrote a show. We just wrote an episode for them,
yeah. I seriously though, the barber shop would be super interesting, you know.
Oh, some other characters like I don't even what's his name? The character who was who was trying to fuck the chicken and
Oh, the snake oil salesman.
Snake Oil Salesman.
Yeah.
He's got a talk show kind of
Yeah, the actor's name is John Daly. Yeah.
yeah.
He's great. He's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, he does really well in the show. I think honestly, everybody. It seems like I can't imagine anyone else playing any role in the show. Like
I
everyone's
think they did such a good job. Like I think the cast is so like eclectic. Everyone's so different from
yeah,
each other.
yeah. It is literally. It feels like high school or school like where everyone has their niche, their thing they do. And it's just it flows perfectly. Like everyone is perfectly placed. Um, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think the casting directors did a fantastic job, you
yeah,
know.
definitely,
And I'm not
definitely.
just saying that because they gave me a job.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, thank you.
I don't think they could have done any better unless they made me the ghoul. It's like, oh man, thank you so much for this, man. This was a
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
and
And I'll have to keep you posted. Like I said, I will definitely let you know once I speak to my director friend about putting that La Locura on like YouTube so that people can watch it. So
yeah, definitely. And if you do, and if it does, if he puts it out and you want to, we'll bring you back on. We'll discuss it and even put it in the bio and everything. So,
yeah, that'd be
well,
awesome.
awesome, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Okay, yeah. Have yourself a wonderful day and stay warm. I mean, it's not as cold as it is here, but
Yeah, yeah. I'll
are you
put
gonna watch the football game later, the Super
I
Bowl?
am. I am. I'm a Rams fan, and the Seahawks eliminated us. So
Mm.
I'm torn between vengeance and wanting like it's like I want them to lose, but also it's like if we lost to the champion, I don't feel as bad. I don't know. I'm torn. So
Yeah. Also, the commercials are pretty funny, you know?
oh, love the commercials, and I'm pretty excited about the halftime show. I think Bad Bunny is he's a really
Yeah.
like a huge pop star like worldwide. So I'm pretty
Huge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What time does that actually start? The whole it's like not till like 6:30 or something, right? Or
I think so. I think it starts at like
Yeah.
6:30, and then it's probably going to be like 30 to 45 minutes of like the national anthem and like
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, because the game won't actually start till probably like seven I don't even know actually. Maybe not even till eight. Who knows? But
Yeah, I can't remember. It feels like I felt like because my parents are wanting to do a watch party. I'm going over there later, but they're going to a women's basketball game today. We're huge South Carolina fans, and so they were like, "What time is everything?" And we literally, uh, I feel like we made an entire schedule for it, and then like the next day, I looked at the times, and I was like, these times don't. This is different than what we were just looking at." So I have no clue, but I think it's like 6 or 6:30 is when the
yeah,
comes on, and then we'll be looking out for all the.
that's what I'll be doing today since there's no business being out in this weather. So,
No, man, get you just lay back watching football. Do you drink? Is there a beverage or?
not really. I don't drink that much anymore, so I'll probably just I mean, I gotta get up early tomorrow. I have two callbacks tomorrow, so
Oh,
for
nice, cool.
commercials, but
Yeah,
hit the ground running on a Monday.
there you go. Nice. That's not bad at all, man. Uh, so yeah, you probably do want to be fresh, then, you know. Uh, thank you,
Yeah,
man.
but thanks for having me. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a lot of. We'll definitely have to do it again sometime. Maybe after season three, before season three, we'll get back together and we'll do it again, man. You have an open invite whenever you want to come on. I got you. You're on.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. We'll talk soon. Bye.